So this is a special edition of the vlog. It's not going to be me on the road in West Virginia, but I'm going to feature an interview that I did with Christine from Deep Mountain Farm. If you watched episode 5 of the vlog, we spent our day off at a wonderful farm in Fayetteville, West Virginia called Deep Mountain Farm, and Christine is one of the owners there, and we really had a great time helping out at the farm that day and getting to know the whole family and the town a little bit. And the next morning, before we were heading out, we were sitting around the dining room table, and Christine was generous enough to talk to us on film about West Virginia, her life in West Virginia, her history with it, the reasons why she loves the state so much, and why she's so committed to staying there and doing her best to make it into a better place with a brighter future. And it was really emotional and moving for all of us, and it's really such a treasure that we have it on film. So I wanted to make it its own episode, and it's instead of just lumping it in with my travelogue. So here it is, and to begin, I wanted to talk a little bit about West Virginia as a state. I don't know what you know about the state or what your impressions of the state are. I knew very little going in. I knew that it had very strong support for Trump in 2016. I knew that it is very poor and very white. Very few people go to college compared to the rest of the nation. And I knew that it's at the epicenter of the opioid addiction crisis in the States. And one of the big reasons that the state ended up in this current state is because it is a land very rich in coal. So in the 19th century, when the entire nation was thirsty for coal, basically these corporations from all over the country came to West Virginia. They took advantage of the people and their corrupt politicians involved, and the outsiders took control of the land, and they took over all the rights, almost all the rights for all the natural resources in the states. And they employed tons of people to work at their mines, and the people working there were usually very desperate for jobs. So they went into this very dangerous profession of coal mining. And furthermore, the corporations took complete advantage of them, made basically indentured servants out of them, so that they were perpetually working for the companies and not making much money, risking their lives, and just stuck in this cycle. So that was in the 19th century. And then the coal industry, of course, fell out of fashion and is now a dying industry. So now they face that new challenge. And so it's really unfortunate for the state that it's kind of this extraction state. That's a word that I heard a lot, that outsiders come and take everything from them. So it was really meaningful for me to be there as a person who's there, not to take anything from them, but to give something back. So knowing all this, unfortunate and negative things about West Virginia, I really didn't know what I would find there. And when I went there, it was just incredible how much everyone that I met, how much they loved the state. They loved the state, they loved the land, they loved their families, they loved their communities. And all of them expressed this commitment to their community and to making the state a better place. And I feel really lucky that I got to meet those people, and Christine is one of those people. She owns the farm with her husband, Chris. They're both native West Virginians, and I got put in touch with Christine because I needed a place to stay for a day off, and one of the other venues on tour recommended her because they had worked with her. Christine is also a graphic designer, so she was doing work for them at one point. So we connected, and Christine was very generous and willing to host us, even though we're complete strangers. So the farm is dedicated to organic, sustainable practices and serving the local community, and it's really a beautiful place. We had a great time there. Thank you, Christine, and here she is.
Yeah, so it's in my experience, and I've been here my whole life, everyone is taking care of everyone. And I visit other places. I've been to quite a few other states. I've left the country, and there's just really nowhere else like home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've been to New York City and like in the like small town girl who tries to say hi to people on the sidewalk and like no one even makes eye contact. We just everyone says hi to everyone here. I don't know.
That's so nice.
So I don't know. I go to the farmer's market as a vendor and nobody. I don't have to hold my baby because she's getting passed around by like 20 people. You know, like she gets to be loved by everyone. That's such a wonderful thing. It's like a giant family, and so.
And that's why I don't choose to leave, right?
Yeah, that's why we're not leaving. That's why.
I mean, you could have bought a farm.
We could have bought a farm anywhere. Yeah, we could be anywhere. Vermont is like the farmiest farm place, the dreamiest farm place ever. You know, and we could have been anywhere, but we chose. You know, Chris and I made a vow, like when we decided to get married, that we're not leaving. We're not leaving because it really feels like I would be abandoning my people. So we chose to stay. And that's a huge discussion that's taking place right now in West Virginia amongst all young people. There's even like an NPR series called Choosing to Stay. Like that's the conversation is happening all over the state. Like, do I stay and risk, I mean, living in this way? Like, we don't have a lot. And we'll probably never have a lot, and choosing to live that way and not going to a place where there's more opportunity or maybe where it's easier to find a job. But we're choosing to stay because we hope that our farm will pick up and we'll be able to hire a person and have a job available for someone someday that's like meaningful and fulfilling and brings food to other people in the community. We have a neighbor on the other side of the hill. He raises pork and donates like 90% of it to the food shelter. Oh so gosh. Like the people who are homeless are eating better than, you know, people who can choose what they eat. You know, so that's, I don't know if I could get that anywhere else, you know? Like is there anything else